And all right, so this is the Zoom portion of chilling on September the 23rd, 2021. So I think Ashley is waiting. So let's add her on. And Ashley is joining me right now. How's it going?
Hi, how's it going?
Good, good. Good to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me on this show this evening, quote unquote, the fall season kickoff.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we've known each other for quite a while. It's just that we
Right?
haven't, yeah. I
Since
know
last
you.
year, right?
Yeah. I first heard of you through Publicity Nation. You have
Hmm.
been making you've worked with them for quite a while,
I did, yes.
and you have been working with other artists. You are a supporter of independent music,
Mhm.
obviously, and I also know you from your sports taste as well.
I love my sports, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we'll get into all that. But let's talk about how this journey began for Ashley. Just talk us into your journey, early portion of your career, and just get to what do you do? What are you known for? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, my journey started, man, way back in 2013. I interviewed for a radio station actually in Nashville. And that's kind of where my passion for radio and music started. And by doing that, I got the chance to meet so many incredible artists. A lot of them were mainstream. But then through doing that, I was like, okay, I really want to do radio. And I really have always had a passion for music. Um, I'm also legally blind, so I knew that it was going to be extremely challenging to break into this industry. But I was always determined to get into it somehow. And I was always determined to never give up, no matter what I did. So I kept going on interviews, couldn't get anything. And then a couple years ago, I'm originally from Michigan, by the way. So a couple years ago, I moved out to California to do an independent living skills program. And then I got a job working full time as an office assistant for um, a law enforcement agency. And while doing that, I started interning with artists. I actually interned for an independent artist that's originally from Michigan. Shout out to Rival Summers, aka Leo Bautista. Um, he does live in Nashville now, and so I was doing, PR and promo for him on his single, and I really liked it. So then I found this band called Amalgamation that was based in San Francisco. And so I started kind of managing them, had no idea what I was doing. So I was like, well, the only way I'm going to learn is by doing this. So then I um, was like, all right, I really want to do this and I really want to pursue this. So I took a chance on myself. I quit my full time job to take a part time job at a radio station in San Francisco. That didn't work out after 2 days. And then I was like, crap, I don't know what I'm going to do. So then I freaked out and I called my aunt and I was like, hey, I'm ready to come to Nashville. So that's how I ended up in Nashville, and I've been there since December of 2019. And then obviously the pandemic hit. So I found a posting through Young Entertainment Professionals in on Facebook, and I saw they were looking for something. So I just sent them my resume, and it was for Publicity Nation. And then I didn't hear anything. So then I did it again. And then I finally heard something. So I did an interview, and I was doing PR marketing and social media for them for almost a year. And then I started working with another independent artist that I've been working with now, Alex Embler. And yeah, I just have been doing PR marketing. And then through all that, I kind of got into playlist curation a lot. So I've been really doing that and like focusing on really working on my personal socials as well as reaching out to artists, letting them know that, hey, my playlists are out here and I'm doing five of them. And that's kind of what I've been doing. That's like a short version or whatever, but that's kind of where I'm at. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did, and then some.
Yes.
You do PR, you do
Mhm.
marketing, you done radio, you
Yep.
have been a helping hand to independent artists throughout the years, from Michigan to California, and now you currently reside in
Yep.
Nashville, Tennessee. Um, from your perspective of being that helping hand to independent artists, just at least help them get the word out on them. How would you describe your experience with some of the artists that you have worked with throughout the years?
I'd say really good. I've definitely learned a lot, right? Like this industry definitely is tough, and you really have to have kind of the go-getter attitude and like the mentality of like the more you keep at it, something's gonna pay off. And you see this time and time again. But also, as somebody that's, gotten a degree, I went to school for communications. You also get to a point where it's like enough is enough. And so you have to kind of find that fine line and be like, all right, you don't, because you don't want to get taken advantage of either. And that's really easy to do. So you kind of just have to have a mental toughness, which is something that I'm working on, because I'm so used to that mindset of if you work for free, something's gonna happen. But you can't always have that mindset. And that's something that's really hard to to grasp. But it's something that, especially lately, I've come to realize like, hey, like you can't always work for free forever. And so it's just figuring out how to, price yourself and really have an entrepreneurial mindset. Um, so yeah.
You definitely have that mindset. You definitely have the go getter attitude from what I've seen via social media in the past year, regardless of whether you're promoting an artist or updating your playlist, you definitely put the work in.
And
You
it's a
being,
lot of
yeah,
work.
definitely a lot of work, and you being a woman in the industry, in the music industry, it's a lot of challenges that goes with it.
Mhm.
What do you think is the biggest challenge or challenges that you have faced doing your career in sorts?
I honestly think just overcoming myself and my struggles as somebody that's legally blind, because I know that a lot of society was not built for people like me. Even though I do have some vision, it's still tough to navigate, especially because with me, it's not so cut and dry. It's not like somebody that's completely blind that you just kind of look at and you go, oh, like you can't do this. Um, so it's definitely uh, been more of a challenge of just me overcoming myself and really having the confidence in myself and my abilities. Um, because I know myself and I know that I can do a lot, regardless of what people see physically or whatever, because people don't know me. They don't really know that. And so that's something that, as I found with being from Michigan and then living in California to now Nashville, is taking that mindset of, all right, as long as you find the right people that are willing to work with you, it doesn't matter. It's just finding the right people and being like, hey, I might not be able to do it this way, but if we can figure out a way to do this and you guys are okay with that, and I can get my start in XYZ and kind of transition into other roles, which is something I've always wanted to do as well, um, then we can do that. So I'm really excited for things that I have potentially in the works. It's been a long time coming, but just never give up.
That's the attitude to have. To anyone out there, you're gonna go through hurdles. You're gonna go through tough times. Only the strong survives in this industry, and if you have that work
Yes.
ethic, and if you got people around you that can be that helping hand to just
Hmm.
give you that attitude, like yo, you can do this, then you can fulfill whatever you want to accomplish. So, for
Yes.
what I've seen of you, you definitely have done a lot. You meant a lot to musicians and people that you have networked throughout the years, and it definitely helps that you've traveled, you've been around
Hmm.
different cultures, different
Yep.
lifestyles, and you've been around different people, different walks of life. So you're such an incredible woman, and I give you kudos for what you've been able to do up to this point. Now, having said all that, you know, what do you have in store from the people that you have worked with, whether it's new music, shows, or it's from the people that you've been working with, keeping a closer eye on? What do you have in store in the coming weeks and months?
Well, I definitely want to go to more shows, especially not maybe not the rest of this year, but more next year. As people get, vaccinated and stuff, I'm still leery about that, but definitely getting back out there and going to more shows. I'm also a huge sports fanatic, so be on the lookout for catching me at Predators games. Um, and then I also want to get back into writing. I started a blog years ago and just, writing about different things. So I definitely want to get back into that. And y'all might see me out and about with at some events soon. But I don't want to say anything yet, so I'm just gonna keep that on the DL. But yeah. Um and then I definitely will keep updating my playlists regularly, and just constantly outreaching to artists and sharing out content and keep doing what I've been doing. And honestly, doing TikTok too, because TikTok is amazing.
Okay, let's talk about TikTok, because
Yes.
that's become a go-to app for people that wants to
Mhm.
get loose and have fun, goof around and such.
Mhm.
What kind of content you have on your TikTok page?
So I definitely do like new music Fridays, kind of like what I do on my Instagram, where I take screenshots of new music that comes out, and then I'll post it into a reel, and then I'll take that and I'll translate it to TikTok. And some of my videos do better on, different platforms, so I just keep it consistent. And I also do. I've done some like what's it called? There's like blind talk, which is basically the blind and legally blind community. And I duet a lot of videos, and I also talk about what my experiences have been like from employment to just everyday life. And yeah, I do a little bit of everything. And I just, talk about random crap too. But I've mainly kept it more to like new music for sure. And then what I've also started doing is going through each social media account I have and showcasing like artists that have either been forgot about, whether they're on the indie scale or major scale, and taking people I'm following and also showcasing them as well. So I'm also doing that too.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos,
Yep.
especially your reaction
Yep.
videos and the
And people love
duet.
my reactions. Yes.
Oh
S-
yeah, those are some good stuff. Totally,
Yes.
totally good stuff indeed. So, Ashley, for people that wants to keep in touch with you, whether it's your music interests or just want to chat with you because you're a very chatty girl. I see you on the socials and such. Where can people find you on the social media sites?
People can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the things at Albutala. Again, that's my first initial, middle initial, and my last name. So again, everywhere on the internet, it's Albutala. And that's all of my social media accounts. Y'all can follow me. I'm pretty good at, you know, responding to comments that people leave on my posts as well as commenting on others. So you will always find me trying to share, engagement. And I also do repost a lot of other people's content. So yeah, you'll find me around on the internet.
Yeah, and I appreciate you reposting the flyer that I did. And
I
also
love
shout
it.
out,
It's pretty.
yeah, I just gotten into the flyer stuff. I'm not necessarily a pros pro. It's just something simple. But
Yeah.
so far I'm getting a good reaction to it. So and thank you and Sleep Nation for wanting to swap spots. That's something that's never been done before in this particular show. But I'm glad we was able to make it happen. Of course, I will be joined with Slip Nation at the bottom of the hour. I'm joined with Ashley right now via Zoom, and I want to get to some sports before I let you go. Um, let's see.
Yes.
You're from Michigan. You root
Oh, I
for
am.
the University of Michigan.
Yep.
You root
They're one
for
of my
Detroit.
favorite teams.
You root for Detroit Lions. And you
Yeah.
also root for the Nashville not
Predators.
Nashville, yeah, Predators and Tennessee
Yes.
Titans.
Yes. Yes.
So how do you feel about some of your teams as far as where they at? Where could they go? Let's get the sports takes from
Oh
Ashley. How you
my.
feeling about your teams?
Well, so first of all, so I also have a passion for sports as well. For those who don't know, last year, I did get a job with the Tennessee Titans, but I turned it down because of COVID. But that is something that I'm also looking at getting back into as well. So shout out to them. But in terms of teams, all right. So my Wolverines, they look hot this year. They're probably I'm not I don't want to jinx them, but they've played well so far. So that's better than they've done in years past. So I'll give them that. The Lions, well, what can you say except it's the Lions.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any hope for them. Um, but my Predators, so as I said, I'm gonna go to some games this year, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I did go to the Predators and Red Wings game back a couple years ago, and that was pretty fun. Um, and so yeah, that's on the horizon. And then for Titans, they're they're doing okay. I know they won, I think their last game, which I did not watch, but um they're okay. I do want to go to a Titans game because I've been to hockey and I've been to baseball, but I have not been to football, and I really really want to go. I did go to the MTSU game um at their home opener, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, I'm definitely into sports a lot.
It's very rare I get to talk to a woman about sports. I'm used to talking to a bunch of guys, and that's cool and all. We get all friendly trash talking and whatnot, but every now and then you gotta get a female side. You gotta, get their perspective and how they feeling about their teams. They just as passionate into sports as men are. So you sound very objective on your part as it pertains to your teams, and
And you know
that's
what's funny
yeah.
is people, well, I always thought that I would never get into sports. And when I was in college, that all changed because I hung out with a bunch of guys. And in terms of like sports for females, you don't find a lot of sorry, in terms of sports with females, yeah, you don't find a lot of females who are really into sports and who actually understand like what things are. And that's something that as I've watched sports over the years, I've gotten into, and my family is like, you know what this is? I'm like, yep, I do. So they're even impressed.
Yes, indeed. So, Ashley, after all the time that we've known each other on social media, it is indeed a pleasure of having you on the show this evening. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. We're going to chat on Twitter every now and
Yes.
then. And, who knows? We might network with each other in the future. So um, we're definitely looking to that. Now, you talk about University of Michigan. I hate to disappoint you, but I am a fan of their bit of rival. No, not Michigan State.
Oh,
That
you're
team in
an Ohio
Ohio.
State fan?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oof.
My team looking, we're struggling. I will.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa,
yeah.
they're not as good this year.
Yeah,
Mm,
the defense is dreadful.
yes,
Quarterback is
they
hurt.
is.
He's
Hmm.
unlikely to play this Saturday. But hey, Mich- we'll see. We'll see. Michigan game. Will this be the year that Michigan finally beat Ohio State in the football field? It's been a
We'll
long
see.
time. We're gonna
Hmm.
definitely see. But I'll end it on that note. The Ashley, thank you so much for your time. Continued success. Keep doing what you're doing, and everybody check her out. Albutala on all her social media platforms. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. She's all over the place. So go check her out. Check out the playlist. Check out the videos. She gives you good content and she's awesome. So, Ashley, thanks again for your time and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you so much for having me, and we need to do this again.
I'm all for it. This could be like a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, especially depending on where our teams land by then.
Oh,
So
definitely,
yes,
definitely.
all right, Ashley. Much love to you. You have a good night.
You too, Kenny.
All
Good
right,
night.
all right. That was Ashley, my first guest of the evening. We just kicking